Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. Today, for this week's 5-Minute Friday, we're going to be covering identity and conditional access. With Cybersecurity Month going on, we thought that this would be a great topic to share with conversations we're having with our clients. Identity seems to be coming up more and more as we move into the cloud world. So jumping in, wanted to talk about some of the challenges that we're seeing with today's organizations. The first one, probably a lot of us can feel this, is the explosion of apps on-premise, but more so in the cloud. Lots of new devices, BYOD is kind of coming all over the place, and external users outside of our corporate network coming in, and those could be customers, vendors, partners, contractors, whoever, needing access to collaborate, share data, whatever the case is. As a result of that, there's been an increase in identity attacks, and for most organizations, they lack the visibility and control. And when we talk about visibility, it's more of you may have the logs going, but in a practical sense, no IT organization has the time to go proactively review those unless there's a reason to. So not having the visibility and control to kind of protect against that has been a big struggle we've seen from organizations of all sizes. We're also seeing a lot more evolving privacy and security regulations come out. We're seeing a lot of it right now with the major tech companies, Google, Facebook. We know that GDPR was a big one in the EU. We know that California is rolling out a similar kind of GDPR piece that was somewhat based off of the EU's GDPR regulation. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there, but I think we're going to need to be ready and equipped to deal with a lot of these upcoming changes. And then just because of the way we're changing, the way that we've changed on how we work, mobile working is definitely continuing to increase. Just IT modernization, having self-service access to things, not being limited by IT. There's a lot of requests for that from the users. So when we look at identity in this new IT and business environment, we're really looking at identity as that control plane. So on this example, we can see it doesn't matter if you're an employee, a partner, a customer, if you're trying to access cloud applications, on-premise applications, regardless of what device you're using, all of these things are going around, but the one commonality is no longer the physical location, it's the identity. And when we look at identity and what the Microsoft story there is, most customers already have on-premise investments in Active Directory. With a simple tool called Azure AD Connect, we can synchronize those up. If you're already using Office 365, you're more than likely continuing to use this. So you're using Azure Active Directory as a result. So now we have one common identity that you've already made a lot of investments in. Now it extends to the cloud. We can provide single sign-on to a tremendous amount of applications. And depending on your on-prem app, we might be able to even deliver access to that without even using a VPN. So from a security standpoint, it's all about safeguarding your user credentials with a zero trust approach. We do that via secure authentication, conditional access, and identity protection. And we're moving away from that castle and moat model that IT used to use as we have people out in the field and external people coming in and just that modern collaboration and data sharing is going on. But just because the network is changing and those walls are coming down, it doesn't mean you have to give up security to do that. When we look at MFA as one of those forms of providing better protection against identity, Microsoft research shows that customers that rolled out MFA reduce the chance of an attack by 99.9%. It works, and here's all the supported paths. Most commonly, just having that authenticator app on your mobile device is the most common. If you still want the voice call or SMS, you have it. And then if you want to use some of the new things like the UV keys for OAuth and all that stuff, we are supporting all those new capabilities as well. We can even move to passwordless credentials using things like Windows Hello for Business, the Authenticator app I just mentioned for MFA, as well as the FIDO2 security keys like the UV Key 5. Now, the last slide is one of the biggest ones. It's what is this conditional access? How do we make sure that we balance security with user experience? And we have all these conditions on the left-hand side that we can create policies around. We can leverage Microsoft's rich database of security intelligence and use machine learning and behavioral analytics to make sure that we're proactively using that data to determine what a risk might be. And lastly, create the right control or implement the right control to allow access to your Microsoft Cloud apps, third-party SaaS apps, and on-premise and web apps that are supported. So there's a lot of capabilities here. This is a lot to go down. We could have a session just on conditional access alone. So as our next step, it's really reaching out to us about a security workshop. Identity is the control plane, but there's a lot of variables and hooks involved to make sure that it's a well-rounded and ultimately holistic strategy. If you just do identity by itself, you'll start there. That's a good starting point. But to really get the value, again, identity is tied to applications, devices, location, so many different pieces that, yes, it's the control plane, but to really protect your environment and ultimately the most important thing is safeguarding your data. It's crucial that we have a well-rounded plan that takes everything into account. We start with a cloud discovery assessment that looks at all the cloud applications your organization is currently using. We do a 2-day on-site consultative engagement to really learn your business, learn your current security posture, do some education, and then develop that roadmap. And that roadmap is going to be prioritized and actionable based on the time frame that makes most sense for your organization: 30, 60, 90 days, 30, 90, 180. We can customize it to whatever you want. Reach out to your red level account manager or call our main office to learn more and schedule a call, schedule a workshop. We hope this was valuable. It's really, really exciting stuff. A lot of our customers are reaching out to us about it, and we'd be happy to have the same conversation with you. With that, we hope you have a great remainder of your Friday and have a good weekend. Thank you.